Today we're making these quick and easy 10-minute marinated mushrooms. They're absolutely fantastic. You start with 6 ounces of mushrooms in a pan on medium heat with a little bit of fat. Dump in your mushrooms and saute them for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll make our marinade with 2 tablespoons olive oil, 2 tablespoons red wine vinegar, 2 garlic cloves finely minced, a pinch of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon red pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon dried basil, a 1/4 teaspoon dried oregano, a 1/4 teaspoon dried thyme, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley. Give it a quick mix before we dump in our mushrooms and stir them to coat. Now these bad boys are technically ready in 10 minutes, but they're so much better if you wait until the next day. We love to double and triple this recipe for parties, and they're always a huge hit. We really hope you'll give them a try.
Stuffed mushrooms. Let's do it. I had so many requests to share this recipe and it's one of my favorites, so here it is. I'm using these gorgeous portobello mushrooms which have the perfect shape so you can pack in a lot of flavor. For the filling, I'm using one of my favorites, spinach and ricotta, which to me are a match made in heaven. And then some sun-dried tomatoes for that sweet smokiness. For the final touches, I love adding a little crumb on top. With Christmas around the corner, they'll make the perfect appetizer or even main. If you're not a huge fan of mushrooms, you have to try this recipe. They're not only super healthy, but with every mouthful, you'll keep wanting more.
This is the best way to cook mushrooms. In a skillet, you're gonna add olive oil and then your mushrooms. I like to quarter mine. Then to the mushrooms, you're gonna add all of these. Pause the screenshot. And I've heard several people say they don't salt them until they're done cooking, but I've always just done it this way. And I love the way it turns out, so I really don't wanna mess with it. But just cook them down until they look like this. Then you can add them to the top of steak, pork chops, whatever you want.
You ask, I listen. We are making the best low-carb pizza stuffed mushrooms you'll ever have. Easy and healthier. Let's go. Use any oven-safe pan or dish. Oil it up a little bit or spray it down. Take a damp paper towel, clean your mushrooms, take out the stems. Don't discard the stems, you could use them for your cooking. Use your favorite pizza sauce, a little bit in each mushroom, and your mozzarella or any cheese of choice. Touch of dry oregano. Bake at 450 for 18 minutes and 1 minute on broil. Enjoy and follow me for more.
This creamy mushroom chicken just melts in your mouth and it's packed full of flavor. This is an easy way to make an extra special family dinner. The full written recipe is on my website, Shek Eats. I'm seasoning some chicken tenders that I cut up into little pieces and pounded, and seasoning a cup of flour with the same stuff. Adding a bit of oil and butter to my pan, coating each piece of chicken in the flour and cooking it until they're golden brown. You want to work in a couple batches so it doesn't overcrowd. We're just looking for color, it doesn't have to be completely cooked through. Adding a bit more oil and then my chopped mushrooms. When they're deeply golden brown, you can add 1 or 2 shallots that you cut up. Give that a minute and then add about 3 cloves of garlic, some salt and pepper. I like a lot of black pepper, freshly ground of course. A glass of wine for the sauce and a glass of wine for yourself. Cook down the wine until there's just a little bit of liquid left. Add a cup of heavy cream, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and the chicken. Let it finish cooking, just simmering in the sauce for a couple minutes.
Hey guys, so for those of you who don't know, I'm actually a chef by trade, so I'm going to share some secrets with you on how I used to make my mushroom sauce. So I always caramelize the mushrooms to get the ultimate flavor. I also start with the stock rather than cream because cream is just way too heavy and is only meant to be added at the end as a creamy flavor, not as a base of a sauce. We also used to use something called mushroom booster, however, I'm pretty sure it comes in 20 kilo bags and you can only buy it if you're in the industry. So I use cream of mushroom soup sachet, which gives an amazing flavor and also thickens it.
Alright, listen, if you're not a fan of mushrooms and onions, then this video is for you. I'm about to show you a technique that's going to change the way you look at mushrooms and onions. Start off by seasoning them with salt and pepper. Put a light amount of butter in the pan and let it turn into brown butter on the side. Once it turns into brown butter, go ahead and mix everything together. Add a drizzle of honey. As you can see, I'm not really measuring, I'm just making sure they're all coated evenly. Once that honey starts to bubble, go ahead and add some apple cider vinegar. This is deglazing the pan and taking all the flavor from the bottom of the pan and infusing it into your mushrooms and onions. I chopped up some basil and garlic, mixed it in at the very end. You're gonna watch me cook for myself. Miso pork.
Good night.
it.